coming your way, they're going to try and get another big score and a big one early.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Tight ends out there, a jumbo package look. They run here with a second-year man from UNC, Javonte Williams. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. But not much on that run, Charles. No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. Wilson. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant. Wilson throw brought in by Sutton. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Cortland Sutton has shown plenty of times that he's a big-time player, capable of making the plays that you need to be a wide receiver 1 in this league. Now his goal is to return to his 2019 Pro Bowl form. 776 yards in 2021. He picks up a 1st down there. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last. No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Here's Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game. Now that's a heck of a moment for your 1st sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 14. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow them to convert a 3rd and 18. A first red zone opportunity the new year here as they come up now 1st and 10. Off the option, here's Williams. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground. Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down. They run it again with Williams. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal. Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. So often you hear that pep talks don't really work in the heat of the battle, but collectively, this defense has to say to each other, we've been on our heels this whole first drive. This is where we need to dig in. And they got a nice stop right there for a loss on 1st and goal. Second down and goal. Wilson. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is 3rd and goal. Now it's Wilson. This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with a throw to the safety valve, but it's 4th down. The kick by McManus is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Ready?
They'll run here with a rookie second-round pick, Kenneth Walker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's another first down as this time they get an even 20. Walker now on 1st and 10. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Still 9 remaining on 2nd down.
18 Rattler.
Throwing is Smith. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 20-yard line. A nice pickup of 17 yards. From the red zone now, Smith. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that? And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Kenneth Walker with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that pushes the lead up to 11. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration, the focus necessary, and dropped it before he could haul it in.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Here's Wilson to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. These fans here in Seattle getting the chance to see Russell Wilson play his first game for a franchise other than theirs. In Russell's 10 seasons in a Seahawk uniform, he went 104, 53-1 in the regular season, threw for over 37,000 yards, almost 300 touchdowns. A Pro Bowler 9 of his 10 seasons with the Seahawks, and of course led them to victory over, ironically, the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 48. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball in his hands a lot quicker.
They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
A nice chunk play from the tight end position, and it illustrates the cohesiveness that he and his quarterback have. Both saw the extra defender doubling him up, and they still combined for the completion and big gain.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a lot. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great play there. 65 yards. And the Seahawks are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. So a pretty wild turn of events there. Instead of a sure 3 points, it's 6 the other direction.
And if you're kicking in the NFL, that should be pretty much automatic. think that's on him at all. The protection broke down. That led to the block.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Play action. Now Wilson. This is Hamler on the crossing route. He's got it. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it. And the Seahawks force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
The Seahawks take over first and 10.
After the interception, here's Smith. He's got a man, complete. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
But they didn't ease into that drive right out of the turnover. They go for the big shot downfield and hit it. A lot of teams have that opportunity, but not every coach is going to greenlight that type of a play call. I love their aggressiveness.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Now Geno. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Back to throw, Smith. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Smith. Eluding the pressure right.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain.
And the Broncos are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line.
The defense looked geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there. The opportunity, lost.
Final play of the half, it's Wilson. And he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety.
I've got to give them a ton of credit here because they're just refusing to give that other sideline any kind of hope. That safety not only kills the drive, but adds to a big early lead. And the way that this one's going, I would expect that lead to continue to grow in the ensuing possessions.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. That's pulled in at the 32. So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Phillips. He's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They look up at the scoreboard, facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that.
He's got a man complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play. Now, look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in the cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wilson will throw again. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Operating from the gun, Wilson. That's going to be caught by Judy. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 14. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow them to convert a 3rd and 18. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Broncos. Greg Dulcich with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Broncos are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that cuts this lead down to 13.
Brendan McManus, the kickoff coordinator.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Takes it at the 7. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
On 2nd and 11 now, Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. He hits his target, Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A gain of
26 on the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a two-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down. Play action. It's Smith. And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. 28 yards. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Gino's going to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action now. Wilson.
Finds Dulcich out left side. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating. Push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson.
They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by Jamal Adams.
And the Seahawks are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. They'll still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
It's a gain of 35. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go.
2nd and 11 now.
Gino out to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant, a 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Seahawks are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that will bump the lead up to 26. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their season. Thoroughly outplayed here in front of the national audience. Finding space at the 40.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
It's another first down as this time they get an even 20.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson.
This is Hamler on the receiving end. Down inside the 10.
And all the way home for a Broncos score.
K.J. Hamler.
32 yards.
And the Broncos are able to cut into that deficit.
McManus's point after is good. And that'll make this a 19-point ball game.
36. Broncos 17.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And a short kick taken at about the 16.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Okay, break.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
40 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. It's a big play there for Seattle. 45 yards.
Even with a big lead here in the fourth, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Walker once more. And not a whole lot there as they'll get him down at about the 2.
And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Walker will score. Touchdown, Seattle. So there you go, Charles. How about this for a debut? A 2nd rushing touchdown in NFL game number 1.
How about it? It just points to me how confident that this young man is, but also how much confidence his coaching staff and teammates have in him.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will bump the lead up to 26. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this fourth quarter. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
The Broncos on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing is Wilson. And a throw there going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Now Gino on 1st down. Letting one go deep for the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Touchdown! Tyler Lockett. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Seahawks have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. Myers connects on the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They'll get it inside the 20.
A huge play there for Denver. 41 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Edmonds running out of the shotgun. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. From the gun, it's Wilson.
A throw left side, hauled in by Hamler.
They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Now Wilson. And he's got it. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Now, this opening game has certainly not gone their way to this point, but, yeah, that touchdown, maybe a glimmer of hope for the long season ahead.
And no one in this league likes to talk about moral victories. No one likes to really just say, okay, well, maybe something went right. But you're exactly right about that. A little glimmer there. Maybe they can carry it over moving forward.
Wilson going to throw for it. Flush to his right. And that'll be incomplete. So unable to throw it in for two from the two. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a two-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Let's go now.
And they will take a knee here. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11.
Smith going to throw it.
He completes this to Walker.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Now here's Michael Dixon. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a home. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. To throw again on 2nd down, Wilson.
That's taken in by Dulcich. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. On 1st down, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
And the Seahawks force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know, it's really strange. I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like one time a week. The best teams I know, they practice starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0.
The partner under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for the Seahawks, it's a great win here on a Monday night as they'll start the new campaign 1-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Denver, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the...
Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to shine bright. Let me show you how to be a star. Yeah, pull up with a baddie in a fancy car. How to party like a rock star and play guitar like a superstar. Yeah, and I'm so tired of them playing with me. Yeah, pushing my buttons, this ain't no game to me. Yeah, ain't got time to be explaining me. Yeah, I'ma just take over the game, baby. Yeah, let me show you how to be a star. Let me show you how to go far, far.
Yeah, that my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grrr to the reality, we still outside. Bond on the richest, heart in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie. This flex know they ready. See, we without a ride nobody with. We're the ones who started with it. Translation: Yanni had to buy, Yanni again it hits. This goes so hard, even the ops go with it. That's how you know we lit.